Your unease increases as you wonder when the podcast is going to begin. Fear no more.
It has already begun. Long ago.
Welcome to the newest episode of the Star vs. the Forces of Evil podcast. Thank you all for coming, except for you, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Nobody invited you, Jerry. You just kind of started showing up on your own. But other than him, we're all ready. We're all caught up on the next episodes of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Except for Jerry, obviously, but you know.
Actually, except for nobody, because I don't think we actually say which episode we're going to next
yeah,
on
that's
the
true.
podcast.
We might want to make it more clear about which episodes we're covering, but you know.
It's really dumb in hindsight.
Doesn't matter.
Oh well, they probably wouldn't have caught up anyway.
Exactly.
Layabouts. But today we're talking about the part 2 of season 2 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil,
as defined by us.
As defined by us.
But don't worry, we're good at it.
Completely arbitrarily. So, I think we're going to take a little bit of a different take this time. We're going to breeze right through these, I think.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
I think we're going to breeze right through
these. I don't think
we're
going to have any hang-ups at any point. I think we're just going to get right through them.
Yeah, so, as a whole, let's say I'd like to consider this block the cringe block.
Cringe block.
This is definitely the cringe block of episodes for me. I don't think I've cringed quite as hard as this one.
Gotcha.
A lot of relationship focus in this one.
Oh yeah. Don't you worry.
And by relationship focus, I mean cringe. Just pure unfiltered cringe right into my eyes.
Indeed.
Thanks, Marco, for that, by the way.
Thanks, Marco. Well, I would like to call this block my favorite block of the show so far.
Really?
It does have a couple of my absolute favorite episodes in the entire show.
I mean, okay, if you say so.
Now, whether those are the best episodes, obviously, I won't say, but they are my personal favorites, to be honest.
I'll be honest with you. If this is the peak of the show, I'm not really that impressed.
Alright, then, let's get right into it. Yeah. First of all, we have Game of Flags.
Yeah, this one was really stupid.
It was really long.
Yeah, really long. It didn't make any sense, and it wasn't really that funny.
But, yeah, it wasn't that fun. Because here's the thing. Here's the main... Okay, so just what happens this episode. Star's having, families having, a family reunion. And they play this game called the Game of Flags.
Yeah. Oh, well, first you gotta note, Star is very miffed that she is at the kids' table and not the adults' table.
Yeah.
Which inspires her to illegally join this Game of Flags.
Illegally, yeah, sure.
Well, against her mother's wishes.
Exactly. And, yeah, basically, it's just this... Okay, so here's the thing. It's this super violent game where they all try to get a flag to the top of a hill. But, the comedic violence doesn't... it's no more violent than any of the other stuff in the show. So it doesn't come across as oh man, this is really bad stuff.
No,
It's just more, it's like a guy pulls down his little bear skin coat and his coat turns into a live bear.
Yeah.
This is just
and
ridiculous.
Then they attack each other, yeah. And
that's absurd.
Marco looks at this violence and he's like, "How could you do this? You know that violence that you inflict every episode. There's nothing new here."
Yeah, it's not, if they. I mean, obviously the only way for this to work is for them to make it extremely gory or something. Yeah. But obviously they can't do that, so the whole premise sort of falls apart.
So the premise falls apart because it doesn't look like they're actually doing anything very violent to each other in comparison to what they're doing. But let's say even if they did, that would make even less sense because it would mean that they're killing their family members and that they would only be able to play the Game of Flags once or twice before all the family members are dead except for the winners. This doesn't seem like a good way to preserve your family when you, there's obviously going to be casualties during these games, right?
There's the thing where the guy's Uncle so-and-so, he got his whole body cut off.
Yeah, he got his whole... So people get their whole body cut off, and then you have this, horrible, horrific image of a guy with his head sewn onto a horse. And, man... It's actually nightmare fuel.
But it's okay. He likes it better that way.
Yeah, he likes it better that way. Or that's what we tell ourselves at night to keep the nightmares away. Jeez, that was... And then he gets his head cut off again.
Yeah, but even that, it's just so it's weirdly pedestrian.
Yeah.
It's not like the problem. It's not like any more intense than just the goofy cartoon violence we've seen up till now in the show. So when Marco's all like, "Oh man, this is crazy! I can't even believe you're doing this." It's like, Marco, this is really no. And Star's like, "No, it's fine because it kind of is. It kind of is what they do."
The most brutal thing that I think happens was probably when that guy got like both of his legs trapped in the bear trap, and then it just doesn't affect him at all.
Yeah,
he just has
fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
he
has his little servant like carrying him up the hill.
Yeah.
Like with his legs still trapped in the bear trap, not carrying.
Yeah, pretty much.
So no impact to any of the violence. Yes. The moral at the end is absurd.
I don't even know what the moral was.
There doesn't seem to even be a moral.
Like, don't kill each other.
Yeah, don't kill your family members seems to be the moral of the story. Which, I mean, do you need a whole like episode to not literally murder your family members?
Maybe it was supposed to be a thing about competitiveness, but
maybe,
I don't know.
Also,
if it was Wander Over Yonder did it much better.
Yeah, okay, I'll take your word on that. But the point, also the ending makes no sense. Where Marco's like, so at the very end, Star takes everyone's flags and wants to go up to the top first, so they can all get there at the same time. Very inspiring.
Hooray,
and then Marco at the end gets to the top.
Yeah,
and brags about it.
Hey,
so
hey, Marco, what weren't you like supposed to be supplying the moral of this story?
Yeah, wasn't.
I guess, like I said, Marco isn't a real character. Yeah. He's not a real person. He does things.
Marco does a 180 turn at the end that would destroy all the bones in his body if he was in fact a human and not, Satan.
Yeah. Okay, but the one cool thing in this episode was Moon shows off her crazy magical powers.
Yeah.
Which is like cool. You're thinking it's like, oh,
Star's mom.
She's like, she thinks it's dumb, but like it's weird because like all of Moon's family members seem to be enjoying the ridiculous game of flags, but she's sitting out. And it's probably because she would literally murder everyone.
Yeah. So there's this huge plot hole that there's the somethings who are the dads? Called? Yeah.
I totally forgot.
Was the dad's side? What? I don't remember.
They're utterly inconsequential.
Yeah, so you have the uncouth, uncivilized dad side of the family and the uptight, elitist mom side of the family. But they both equally love blood sport. Like,
can't they not bond over this?
Yeah, I guess you think they'd figure out that they had a lot more in common than they actually seem. Like I mean, and by much more in common, I mean that the elite, like mom side is actually not very civilized and elite at all.
That's the thing. It's just they're both just barbarians.
Yeah, it's just like they're both just the same as the dad side guys. Okay, let's move on to the next episode. This episode sucked.
Yeah, but I do think the whole thing with the butterfly moon.
Oh yeah, that also doesn't make any sense. Why didn't all of like her all of the people on her side of the family be able to do that too?
Well, no, because they're not heirs to the throne.
Well, there's gonna be at least one heir to the throne over there, right?
Well, it's all to do with. Actually, this is another thing that sort of comes up later that throws this whole part of the show into question.
Yeah, of course it does. I'm sure that there's
retcons. But for now, it's just obviously it's the cool thing that the queens do.
Yeah, great.
It's like, and we just see like the sort of upgraded version of like Muberty Star in her mom, which I kind of like.
Yeah, except that it looks horrifying.
And
she looks like a horrible insect person.
That was pretty much the thing I liked about this episode. The rest of it was sort of just, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. The rest of it was just a waste of time. Let's move on.
Let's move on to what's totally not a waste of time, Girls' Day Out.
Oh, wow. Even bigger waste of time. Holy God. We
gotta get introduced to our new favorite character, Jana.
Yeah. Jana really happens in these episodes, huh?
She really happens. She's quirky.
Yeah, she is much more tolerable than Star. So
I mean, she's just.
I mean, if she wanted to like kill Star and like take her place as the show's frontrunner, I mean, I want to be like completely opposed to that.
Star, but like I don't know. We're supposed to get introduced to Jackie here.
Yeah,
like
Jackie's supposed to be an actual character.
She's made minor appearances in previous episodes, unveiling her wacky personality where she does weird stuff like steal Marco's keys or whatever.
Yeah, like...
But in this episode, she's in detention. And Star also gets detention because she threw a hamster out the window. And...
Because once again, Star just being brain dead. Like, not like this isn't a fish out of water. This is just literally being stupid. You've been here for a long time now. You should know that you don't take pets out of cages and throw them out of windows.
I don't think it's a thing she doesn't know. I think it's just she doesn't care.
Well, yeah, but it's just like, who are you? You're just a bad person. Like, you could have killed this little hamster. Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Like, you're lucky like anything didn't come and eat this thing. Like the snake that you bring in later.
I mean, yeah, she just doesn't care. In this
yeah,
episode.
She's just a
she
horribly
goes to detention,
person.
And then like the moment she's in detention, she's like, "All right, I'm just gonna leave."
Yeah, I don't even know why she bothers going to school.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's really weird that it's almost like this is entirely contrived and makes no sense.
But we gotta learn all about our new character, Jackie. Not Jackie.
Yeah,
Jana. Sorry,
I wish they didn't
have the J names. A new character, Jana, who. They should have replaced this episode with an episode where we get to know Jackie, because then Jackie would seem less pointless.
Yeah, Jackie would seem less of a complete and utter void.
I mean, it makes her a great pair for Marco, though.
Yeah,
they're both equally boring.
That's true.
Like, hold on.
It's all the more devastating that pairing will never, ever, ever happen.
I know, right? It's
not
so
obvious.
obvious.
Like, here's the thing, because I haven't watched the whole series yet, and I already know that this will never, ever, ever happen. It's already over, guys. Like, I know that there's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of ship wars.
Yeah, I know that there's ship wars with this show.
Guys,
I've seen the threads on 4chan occasionally.
Guys,
but
the ship war was over in the first episode. The first frame that Marco appeared on screen.
Yeah, pretty much. This seems like
the main male character.
And the main female character.
It's over now.
They tried to play a little bit of footsie with you. They tried to get you off your game by introducing Jackie really early.
No.
And by like really early and not and not implying anything with Star and Marco until later. But they had this in mind from the beginning. They were
It was destiny.
The only winning move is not to play.
Indeed. But yeah, you know what? But hey, in the context of what we have right now, Marco likes karate. Jackie likes skateboards.
Dude.
They both have that one thing that they like, and boy howdy, are they cool friends.
I like how later how Marco is like awkwardly, like in the dance episode later, Marco is awkwardly asking Jackie about her hobbies, and she says, "I like skateboarding and other stuff," and doesn't mention any of the other stuff. That's the only thing they thought of for Jackie so far.
That's all she's got.
Oh my goodness.
Just like all Marco's got is karate. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they planned it all along.
You planned it all
genius.
along.
When you really think about it, it was just a masterwork when you really think about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're talking about this episode. We're talking about Jana.
Sorry, moving on. Jana.
Nothing happens in this episode.
Yeah, Jana just like does this really weird thing where she's like, "You're president of detention. That means you are a slave, I guess."
Yeah,
like that's what mayors are, right?
Yeah.
It's like the Animal Crossing version of mayor, where you're just appointed mayor and then you have to do everybody's like work for them.
Exactly.
You're like the neighborhood like force worker.
Exactly. But yeah, they go on a little fun adventure to get batteries for a TV remote so they can watch professional wrestling.
Very cool.
Which they do, and then that's the episode.
Yeah, I like how instead of magically just giving them new batteries, magically recharging the batteries, magically making new batteries, magically going to the store and getting batteries, magically doing anything that could possibly get batteries. The only way they can get batteries is to go to this guy, this specific person with a keytar, and ask him to take the batteries out of his keytar and put them in a TV. You can get batteries anywhere. These aren't rare. Like, why is there this whole operation to get batteries? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like, they forget that Star has magic sometimes.
Yeah, it's
really
like,
funny.
What are you doing?
But yeah, that's the episode. Nobody cares.
Oh, by the way, can't take the batteries out of the guitar he's using. Gotta go in the back of the trunk and take one out of the guitar. Like the 90 guitars he has in his trunk.
That was a good joke, that he's got like just a billion of those for no reason. I thought that was funny, but that was pretty much it for the episode. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about Marco's subplot.
Oh.
His subplot is he's got his arm stuck in a pipe.
Yeah, what is this subplot?
I love how that's like their idea of like, okay,
this is an interesting Marco subplot.
Yeah. Here's the A story, Star and Jana doing a bunch of stuff, and the B story is Marco is stuck in a pipe.
Yeah. The B story is Marco is looking for the hamster that Star threw out the window. So, you know, in case you were wondering, yes, all Star's fault again. Just like every other horrible thing that happens in the show.
But who cares?
But it's just like Marco gets his arm stuck in a pipe, and that's all he does the whole episode.
And Marco's like supposed to be the smarter one.
Yeah, Marco's supposed to be the smart one.
Exactly. So it's like even that Marco doesn't really have, because they just contradict it whenever they get the chance.
It doesn't matter if he's smart. I mean, you got to make a really funny joke about him getting his arm stuck in a pipe.
And that's, you know what, that's Girls' Day Out. I think we nailed that one.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. We get introduced to Jana, who is
Well, we saw Jana before then.
I mean, you know, she gets an entire episode.
Yeah, she gets an entire episode. Not that.
Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking of the...
Let's go to the next episode.
I'm just thinking of the latest season.
Oh boy.
Which Jana also gets an episode. It's the most forced thing in the universe. We'll get there, I guess.
We'll get there.
We got a sleepover.
Oh,
I think it's your favorite episode, judging by your overview of the show.
So, in this episode...
Wait, we gotta introduce our cast here.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, in this episode, our cast of Star's fan...
Yeah, Star Fan 13.
Jana, and Jackie, the four most interesting characters in the world, are having a sleepover at Marco's house.
I didn't know that Jackie and Star were friends. It's
yeah,
almost like they
exactly.
haven't really had an episode together.
It's almost as if neither of them are extremely well developed, and it doesn't actually make sense that they're friends.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the whole show in a nutshell. It's like, why are they friends? It's just they just
are. So they're having a sleepover. Marco's being really weird.
Yeah, Marco's
just
trying to be smooth, I guess.
Yeah, but
again, contradicting his character as like sometimes he's a little bit neurotic and like, you know.
Yeah, isn't he supposed to be like almost like an awkward introvert type of guy?
But then like this episode, he's
trying to be like the Fonzie or something.
Yeah, he's got like, I don't know what he's playing. He's trying to be cool with his dumb jacket, and it's like
he's trying to be Spider-Man 3 cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, Peter Parker with the black suit. Yeah. Very cool. Everybody thinks so.
I do. I certainly do.
I certainly do.
Okay.
He's my hero.
Oh yeah, Ponyhead's also there.
Oh yeah.
You forgot.
I almost forgot. Ponyhead is also there. I'm so glad we found a way to fit Ponyhead into this. So it's nice to know that Ponyhead and Jackie are also friends.
Yeah. They definitely know each other. But what happens in this episode?
Oh, what happens in this episode? Well, I mean, only the most original plot for any kids show or cartoon to happen. They play Truth or Dare.
Yep.
Wow.
But it's a magical
it's magical Truth or Dare.
Where they have to tell the truth,
or
else they...
So, luckily, in the method of all Star magical objects, it's also incredibly stupid because it will kill you if you use it wrong. Just like every other magical item in from Star's universe. It will literally murder you if you don't do it right.
Okay. I am gonna...
Why do these things exist? Who invented this thing?
There is...
Why?
They do a really, at least in my opinion, a really good joke with this much later in the show where that box appears again.
Oh, thank goodness the box appears again.
Yeah, but when you see it, it's pretty good.
So Pony... Yeah, well, anyway, I'm sure I love it, but...
I'm just going to keep on referencing things you haven't seen yet. It's like, no, man, I'm sure it's good. You just got to believe me.
You just got to believe me. So, Ponyhead... I think it is Ponyhead who pulls out the thing, right?
She's got the box.
So Ponyhead pulls out this box and says, we're going to play Truth or Punishment.
Yeah, Punishment. That's what it was.
Yeah, and so you got to tell the truth or you get punished by something. But as it turns out, the box is actually some sort of invulnerable god who cannot be defeated by any known method of magic. Otherwise, Star could have just... Like, why isn't Star able to blow this thing up with magic? Why is it immune to magic? Why did they make this thing immune to magic? What is it?
It's just a powerful box, dude.
So, if you assume that it is a toy meant for children, because that's what it is, it's a game meant for children, why does it have godlike power to destroy the users? If it is some sort of ancient relic that only happens to be a game, like maybe it's an ancient game of magic that's very powerful, why are they playing this ancient game of shadow game of magic?
And where did Ponyhead get this game?
Where did Ponyhead get this shadow game what is going to send them all to the shadow realm when they are done with this?
That's a good question, but you know what but you're not even supposed to care about any of that.
Because it's just so funny.
Because the real meat of this episode is all the character
drama.
Yeah,
we get some real character in this
for
episode.
Instance, is Jana's favorite color actually pink?
Whoa, dude! Whoa, dude! That's so cool.
But and then also they didn't like Star's cookies.
Oh yeah.
What a tragedy.
So thankfully they haven't already learned the lesson that you should be honest to your friends even if you don't like something that they did. Thank goodness they've only learned that lesson like 4 or 5 times by now.
Yeah, it's probably something like that.
You shouldn't I don't know. Also it doesn't make any sense because telling your friends white lies like that is obviously the best solution.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, if you don't tell your friends or your family white lies such as those, like, oh yeah, I actually loved your thing, I loved your performance, I loved you did really good in that game you were in. Like, look, buddy, like, I hate to break this to you, but that's just how life works. Like, you just make those kinds of lies.
But the box...
People lie to you about that sort of thing. You lie to other people, that sort of thing. It's just what happens. There's no real moral against it,
The box is not concerned with morals. It is concerned with the truth.
Yeah, great.
And, well, at least until later in the episode.
Yeah, at least until later.
I want to point out this one funny thing, where after the second question, they all are about to go, they're all like, okay, I don't want to play anymore. So they start heading towards this exit, and there's a door in the side of the box that says exit. Mm-hmm. But then it just, there's no exit. Like,
there was one though.
Why is there a door if they can't use it?
It's just to screw with them.
Apparently. But finally, the box breaks out the big guns and asks the question, who do you have a crush on?
Oh, wow, yeah. So, also, just real quick before we get to that. So, this is a game about answering hard questions or being punished, and the second question, everyone is just like, oh no, I don't want to play this game anymore. You started the game like 5 minutes ago. Like, come on, guys, you weren't prepared for this? This is what you played the game for. These are the questions you play this game for.
These are literally what you signed up for.
There is no other reason to play this game other than for girls to ask each other who they have crushes on. That's the only purpose of the game. And then like, oh no, guys, we can't go this far. This is too crazy. We gotta answer more questions like, what's my favorite color?
Pretty much, yeah. Like, the drama is weird. Like,
there should be no drama.
They had like a moment where it's like, oh, are you sure you want to do this? It's like, yeah. But they didn't immediately after.
And then Marco at the beginning is the smart one. Is like, oh wait, let's not play this. And then everyone's like, no, you gotta play it. Why?
Yeah, but it was.
I hate all these characters so much.
This episode just. But finally, Marco admits his crush to Jackie.
Yeah, wow.
Which she almost certainly already knew.
Come on.
If she didn't, then like she's as dumb as Marco, which seems impossible.
Which would be best for both of them, I
guess. So,
There would be better. I mean, you know. But at least he wouldn't be paired up with Star, who is like 10 times dumber somehow.
Yeah. So, oh no, but somebody lied and they're gonna fight. But they can't fight it because it's indestructible.
Yeah, because I hate that's one thing in this like streak of episodes that I noticed is that there's a lot of enemies that are just like invulnerable to like magic, just to make it more dramatic. Where it's just like Star will just like shoot them with a beam of magic and it just dissipates and it's like, what are we gonna do? And then they get out by complete luck. It's like,
pretty
great.
much.
Fun episode, guys.
But anyway. Star convinces the box
that,
the truth is flexible.
Yeah.
And it explodes. In the end. What did we learn?
A horrible, horrible lesson about the truth. What did we learn? We learned that alternative facts are real. We learned that the truth is anything you want it to be, that there's no objectivity in the world, that everything is everything is relative, and therefore objective measures of truth are worthless. Thanks guys.
Indeed. And it turned out all along that Star did have a crush on
Marco. Yeah, Star had a crush on Marco.
Whoa, Star had a crush on Marco? What?
I didn't expect this all the way into season 2, guys, man.
Nobody saw it coming.
Whoa, nobody saw this one coming.
Like a bus out of the water.
Like a bus out of the water. It's
new phrase.
Yeah, that's a great phrase.
Brand new saying. Made it up just now.
It was. It's as subtle as it was a bus in a school fish.
Yeah. Also, Starfan 13 is there.
Yeah,
and that's the end of the episode.
And Starfan 13 needs to be like legitimately euthanized. So, just moving on to the next episode.
Oh, jeez.
That episode sucked. Skip it.
I forgot about this. Yeah, skip. You can pretty much skip this episode because, like,
he confesses
Marco
his love to
admits that he loves Jackie.
Yeah, but he does that like every episode. This like block that we watched.
I mean, yeah, it's just like there's no way she doesn't already know this.
Yeah, like has it? Like I mean, she's probably gonna be like one of these times she can be like, oh, like didn't you already tell me this? Like, yeah. I already know this. Anyway, like you told me like last episode.
Move right along to
what's the next
gift of the card.
Oh, this is exactly what I was talking about. When it doesn't make any sense.
This is just a waste of animation.
Yeah,
money.
It's just a complete waste of it. Especially since some of the designs are complete garbage. Like, for instance, I really hate like the Quest Buy employee. Okay, so Star has a gift card for Marco Quest Buy.
Because he's so hard to buy.
He's so hard to buy for.
You know, that's understandable because he's the most boring.
Well, yeah, I mean, he just does. I mean, what are you gonna buy him? Like a new karate thing? Like,
what are you gonna buy him? Like some oatmeal?
Exactly. You're gonna buy him some wheat or maybe some white bread.
Some wheat or wheat byproducts.
Or wheat byproduct, yeah. But I don't know. So it's gonna expire, and if it expires, then it kills them.
Good job, Star.
Because of Quest Buy, it's really funny. It's like a you scroll to the bottom and click the check mark if you agree thing. Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah. It makes complete sense too because she actually signed her name like in blood or whatever on the parchment.
Yep.
And like the agreement wasn't even long at all. It was just one piece of paper, so she could have just read it. And saved herself a lot of trouble.
But she just expected Marco to like get go get something.
Yeah, so what she did was she got a card that will not work on anything except for if it's something that Marco really wants.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. This episode, it doesn't do anything.
No.
It's just...
Nothing happens this episode.
It's just like, oh, they're looking around for a thing to buy, and he can't decide, and oh no.
Yeah, the moral of the story is Marco is also indecisive among his many other deficiencies as a human being. Yeah. He's also really indecisive. Sorry.
And of course, there's your B story.
Yeah.
Which involves, what was that guy's name? Rathalos?
Rathalos.
The weird lizard guy with the chainsaw.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Ragnar.
Dumb. Remember back when there was the school that was built up a lot but turned out to be stupid? Well...
You like that episode.
I mean, I kind of liked that episode, except that it sucked.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. But Miss Heinous is back. Remember how last time we talked about how Tom came back and was like, oh, looks like Tom's going to try to be an actual character, not just a 2-bit villain. Well, Heinous is back and she's just going to be a 2-bit villain.
Yeah, she's just going to be, she's going to live up to her name.
At least until later. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh my god.
But this is the most horrible B-plot in the universe because she just sends I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, some dumb stupid name.
Something dumb. But he just sends the lizard chainsaw man to go kill Star. And instead of like this being part of the episode where they're trying to do things, it's just a separate part of the episode where this stupid lizard is like wandering around looking for them, and it's like, well, I don't care.
It actually doesn't affect the plot like at all.
No, it's completely.
It has no It has no real involvement with the A plot. There's the tiny 1 second where it has something to do with the A plot, where he walks in and
I think he jumps in.
He jumps in through the roof on top of like the Quest Spy monster. Yeah. And then gets killed immediately by the Quest Spy monster. Yeah. And then the plot is over.
Yeah, so at least Marco got his hand stuck in a pipe. At least that was because...
at least he did something.
At least that was because Star threw a hamster out a window. Yeah. For this, like, the B plot doesn't have anything going on.
No. Oh, yeah, and the Quest Spy monster is stupid and ugly, and I hate it. Like, it is the least interesting monster design that I've ever seen. It's literally just an eye with, like, a glowing white, like, body-shaped thing. Yeah, it's horribly boring. Horribly boring.
Just like this episode.
Just like all of the villain designs in this stupid show. Like, man, just like the least interesting, least creative monster I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, there was nothing really. I mean, at least the chainsaw guy had like
the chainsaw guy was like.
He had like
he was just
dreadlocks or something.
Yeah, he was just kind of like Ludo except with a chainsaw, and it's just like
I think he made Toffee.
Cool. Oh, Toffee, yeah. Whoops, I get those confused. Sorry.
And that's about it for this episode.
Yeah,
we're not blazing through these as fast as I thought he would.
Okay, but when because I'm more angry about him than you thought.
I guess so.
Well, one more thing about the Quest Spy. What was it? It was Marco. It's both. It's an episode that I hate, and it manages to make me hate Marco and Star equally, because they both are like horrible people in this episode. I mean, you know, it's slightly less of Marco's fault, because Star really did mess everything up, as she always does. But Marco did his best to make it even worse, as usual. They're kind of like enablers. Like, Marco is Star's enabler, and, she's like addicted to being stupid. And he just wants to be as stupid as her, I guess. Alright, moving on.
Okay, moving right along.
I hate this show.
We got Frenemies.
Oh, great.
Where our good friend Tom comes back and hangs out with Marco for the episode.
Yeah, this is like when I started watching the episodes at like 2 times speed. Because this is like, nothing happens in this episode at all.
I mean, what are you talking about?
It's so boring.
The most important thing in the entire show happens.
What, this idiot shows up again?
Tom and Marco become friends.
Yeah, they become great friends. My two favorite characters become best friends.
And they bond over a band. What was it called?
Love. Was it like Love Direction or something?
I don't know, but it was something.
It was some band.
And then they also bond over karate movies.
Yeah, karate movies, which Tom doesn't even actually like.
But, you know, he gains an appreciation for them after he raises a karate master from the dead.
Yeah.
To have him beat up some guys.
Yeah, so Tom pretends to be Marco's friend for a whole episode so he can get a badge, and then he loses at the last minute. And then he brings a karate master back from... He brings like Chuck Norris back from the dead or whatever, and
Jackie
then...
Chan.
Or like a Chuck Norris Jackie Chan mix, because he's kind of like, he's got the moves of Jackie Chan.
I think his name is Mackie Hand.
Yeah, his name is Mackie Hand. That's right.
That's a great reference.
Really, really great reference. But, except he was definitely like a Chuck Norris alike, because he has like the big beard.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I think he was like a combination between Chuck Norris and Jackie Chan.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And he was very stupid. And
but here's what I'm going to say. Like, this little thing that Tom does for Marco at the end of the episode.
Yeah, brings a guy back from the dead.
Yeah. It's like the nicest thing anybody in this show has ever done for Marco.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think Star has ever done anything this nice for Marco.
Yeah.
He should have... Marco should have a crush on Tom.
Yeah, it actually makes him happy.
Yeah.
Are you gonna...
It's actually it's a magical thing that happens that doesn't go horribly wrong. Like, and it's raising somebody from the dead. This is the one thing that's supposed to go wrong.
Yeah, it's just, and like there is don't even get people started on the, what do they call it? I'm trying to remember the ship name for. Oh, it was Tomco.
Oh.
Tomco is the funniest ship.
Yeah, okay, I should have figured. Excuse me.
But obviously, it's dead in the water, like all these ships are.
Of course,
there's only one.
Because there's There's only one girl who's in the title of the show, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And the forces of evil are not Marco, unfortunately, even though they are.
But yeah, I think, but like literally, that's like. This seems like the most fun Marco's ever had.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's with dead people and a demon.
Yeah, so it seems like these two really should be good friends.
Yeah, it should be. They should be good friends. Star should leave Star immediately and hang out with Tom all the time.
Yeah,
Great work.
Yeah, he should. But yeah, that's what happens in frenemies. And
nothing. So Star. At the end, Marco is very betrayed because he wasn't really being my friend. And then he raises a guy from the dead and all is forgiven, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what happens.
Yeah, so, if you ever have any trouble in your friendships, just find somebody that your friend admires deeply and raise them from the dead.
That's the lesson we're teaching.
Yeah, that's the lesson we're teaching.
That's the lesson of this episode. Oh, except it's a lesson about honesty. Oh, wait, that was the last episode. Wait a minute.
About honesty? What?
Because he was lying to Marco.
Who cares?
But obviously,
whatever. Next episode. This episode sucked. Skip it.
I actually like this episode. I think Marco and Tom are pretty funny.
Yeah, they're not funny.
But we're moving right along. Okay, here we are. Is Mystery. Which is the episode that I got confused with another episode last time.
Oh.
It's the Buff Frog episode.
Oh, the Buff Frog episode.
The Buff Frog episode.
The Buff Frog.
Yes.
This one was okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Buff Frog's okay.
Yeah, I like Buff Frog.
He's probably my favorite character.
I mean,
so far.
He's got some motivation, man.
Yeah, he's actually got some. He's
got babies to take care of, dude.
He's got some pathos to him. He's got some. I mean, these tadpoles aren't actually his tadpoles.
Yeah, like as Leo says, I gave those tadpoles.
They are his foster tadpoles, but that doesn't make him any less important to him. He's a real man.
Yeah, like the first thing he does in the episode is like, I've got to find a way to get to this corn so I can feed my babies.
Yes, so my babies can have a better future.
Exactly. So he gets kidnapped by like a fork hand guy.
Oh,
and
yeah,
forced to turn like a grind wheel. That's just the sort of goofy part of the episode where they're just having fun, and he's like investigating, trying to figure out where all this corn is going.
It turns out Ludo is behind it all.
I mean, which we already knew.
Yeah,
because there's rats and everything, and we know he's the Rat King.
Yeah, he's Rat King now. So good work.
But basically, Buff Frog finds out about all this, confronts Ludo, who is now like having longer, more in-depth conversations with his wand.
Yeah.
Which is not a good sign.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I guess. I mean, Buff Frog probably could have taken the wand.
Well, he tried to, but then the spider got it.
Yeah. Why is Buff Frog so weak against the spider? When we see later, the spider and the eagle are like pushovers, just like any other monster.
Yeah.
Why do they like dominate Buff Frog?
Well, because it's 2v1, man.
It's 2v1 later. Whatever.
He just gets out of there.
I don't see how the spider should just be crushed under Buff Frog's massive pectoral muscles.
Just body slam.
Exactly. And punching a bird is actually very effective. It'll break like every one of their hollow bones. Punching birds is very effective.
Experienced in this area.
Well, yeah, dude, they got hollow bones. They can't take a punch.
Buff Frog has his little adventure. He escapes and he rescues the fork-handed guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't come back, but he does.
Oh, thank goodness.
He does it because he's a good guy. He's like the good person.
Yeah, he's like
unlike the rest of the characters in the show.
Yeah, so
you can definitively call him Buff Frog's a good person.
Yeah, Forkhand like abuses Buff Frog in like the first half of the episode, and then Buff Frog like legit saves him during the second half.
Yeah,
and just lets him go, I guess. Unless he like ate him afterwards.
No, he like shook his hand and
unless he fed him to the tadpoles while we weren't looking. He actually just saved a guy.
Yeah, but that's what happens in this episode. Buff Frog says he's gonna warn Star,
and then
That's when
That's
the
it.
episode ends.
And then apparently he doesn't get there in time.
Yeah, well, we'll actually get to that in the next.
Yeah,
episode.
we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
That occurs later. This block. Next episode.
Hungry Larry.
Hungry Larry.
The Halloween episode.
The Halloween episode. Man, I really hated this episode a lot.
I'm gonna just go ahead, do my customary. Here's the one thing I liked. Star was dressed as Ludo. That was pretty funny. I like that. I like that detail. But other than that, like, what is this episode?
Yeah, so once again, we have a cartoon plot about the parents not being able to scare people on Halloween and feeling bad about
Specifically the dad.
Specifically the dad. But I mean, it's always the dad.
Yeah.
It's almost always the dad.
So,
and he's having his masculine pride hurt by the fact he can't scare children.
So here's the biggest issue with this episode.
The fact that it's been done 100 million times?
Yes, but also, Marco's dad is not a character.
Yeah, that's a big problem with this.
He's a person. He's not a real person.
Has Marco's dad ever shown any great affinity for Halloween or scaring people?
No, I mean, that's not even important.
Or
it's
any,
not even,
or any personality trait at all that would indicate that?
Other than just being kind of weird.
Other than being a complete freak. Yeah.
He's
just like his son.
Exactly. But, you know, they try to, like, oh, look, he's doing a thing. But, like, it's about a character who no one cares about. It's like a whole episode about this character that doesn't matter even a little bit.
Yeah. Marco's dad is completely irrelevant.
To everything. So
wait, he did show up at the end of the last block, remember? When they fought Ludo and he was
he just showed up after everything was over.
Yeah, he just showed up after everything was over.
Same with all the other characters in the show.
Yeah, I didn't
who showed up when the plot ended. So like he's just in the show. And that's all he's supposed to be. But like, and he's really annoying, but like they keep him out of the way. But now they're like, here's a whole episode about this dude. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about Marco's dad.
Yeah, so we also have Hungry Larry himself, who was summoned. And man, once again, the most boring designs ever.
Yeah, he's just a little ghost.
He's just a ghost who gets fat when he eats people. And it's like...
If you had actually turned into something really horrifying...
if you had actually turned into something scary...
But he's just a bigger version of himself.
Yeah, it's not scary at all. He's just got a big chompy mouth, and it's just that's it. That's his whole character design, is a big chompy mouth.
Yeah.
And then he's not even scary at all because he doesn't kill people. He just eats them.
Yeah.
And then not kill and then eating them does not kill them.
I guess they were going for like a no-face thing. I don't know what the deal.
Yeah, really like the worst no-face ever.
It didn't work.
It's like no-face except not cool.
I'm sure maybe if you were like a baby, you were scared.
Yeah. And
Larry, but
yeah, it's like, and instead of any kind of weakness, like, you know, him taking advantage of some weakness, all he does is get eaten himself, and then that's too much food, so he throws up everyone. Yeah. This is the solution to the problem here, guys.
So it's like he gets his confidence back, I think. But like, the whole point of the episode was supposed to be, maybe he shouldn't be so worried about this.
Yeah, why is he worried about this?
But instead, the answer is he just needs to get better.
Yeah, it's like...
Okay.
And then he, like, scares everybody in the stomach. So everybody, all the kids in Hungry Larry's stomach go, wow, you're so scary. And it's just like, you were just eating, dude. You need to, like, go to a hospital or something. Like, are you guys, like, okay? Like... I guess none of that matters. Don't worry about it.
It was a dumb Halloween episode.
Really dumb. Hated it. Skip it. Skip it again. And then also skip it in the past.
Yeah, skip it. Unwatch it if you've already watched it.
Yeah, unwatch this episode.
We're going to move right along.
Moving right along. That episode is nothing.
My absolute favorite episode.
Oh, boy.
In all the show.
Yeah.
Spider with the top hat, man.
Spider with a top hat, huh?
Okay, you want to say Buff Frog has pathos? Spider with a top hat has pathos.
Yeah, I mean, Spider with a top hat would have what I would consider forced pathos.
He is very forced. Hero. How dare you even say something?
The first
like
thing
that.
about this episode is that we learn the horrifying truth of Star's wand, that she has numerous slaves that she keeps inside her wand at all times, who wake up and work every single day for no pay, relentlessly going through horrible physical injuries on Star's behalf for no reason. They just hang out in the wand and like fly out when Star calls them and get pretty much killed. Clearly, and then come back.
Clearly, Star is their god. She created them.
Yeah.
So obviously, they have no choice.
So
this is just their
Star is a wrathful god
Yep.
who is evil and should be destroyed and rebelled against and not admired by any of the people inside of the wand.
No,
She is the oppressor. Being a god does not give you the right to abuse your creations when you've imbued them with sentience. This is not an excuse.
But this episode isn't even about
You
Star.
can't own a human being, Star. You can't do it, you evil person.
Star versus the forces of slavery.
Oh, also, I hate the moral in this episode.
What do you mean you hate the moral?
So
I am inspired by this episode.
So Spider with the top hat spends days and days and months slamming himself against a wall for no reason.
He is going to be the ultimate warrior.
Giving himself brain damage day after day, waiting for the day when he will be called out by his stupid spell.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Okay, and then it finally happens, and none of that training comes in handy because it turns out he just has a big gun in his hat. Great, so you just wasted all of that time, Spider in a top hat. You wasted all that time. You accomplished nothing. You are worthless, Spider in a top hat.
Oh no, you fool, you naive fool. You underestimate. This Spider has worked for this his entire life.
What did he do?
Every day.
How did his training help
Every
him out?
day. He's like, I will be the ultimate warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a poster on his wall that says, believe in the dream or something.
Yeah, okay.
And like, he just trains and trains and trains.
Yeah, and the story is really inspiring by telling us that no matter how much you train, you will still not be worth anything unless you have a big gun in your hat, maybe.
Unless you have a big... Is that the moral?
Yeah, the moral is that guns are equalizers. Like, no matter how weak you are, if you have a gun, everyone will take you seriously.
That's the thing. He was a tiny little spider with a top hat. Everyone just thought he was a goofy guy. But no, he had a deep inner strength that no one knew about.
That's not a deep inner strength. That's a gun. Guns are not deep inner strengths.
Okay, so the top hat is literally a part of him. It is in his name.
Because it's in your name doesn't mean it's a part of you. It's a hat.
It's not
he takes it off.
Star doesn't say, go spider and also give it a top hat gun. It's Spider with a top hat.
So how does slamming yourself into a wall relate to shooting like a wolf monster with a gun in your hat?
It doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the spirit. He would not give up his dream.
Why would, if he had known he had a big gun in his hat, then he would have been summoned all the time and there would have been no problem. Star should have been summoning this guy all the time. He's got a huge gun. And apparently he's better than all of the other things in her wand because none of the other ones could fight that giant wolf thing. Except for Spider in a top hat who beat it in 1 second. Spider in the top hat is clearly the best summon. But it doesn't matter because nothing makes sense in this show and I hate it.
I don't know. I think you're letting the sort of logic blind you from the real emotional payoff in this episode.
Well, my problem is that the emotional payoff doesn't connect in any sort of way to the build-up. It's just sort of like, also he brought a gun.
It's like,
you could end any dramatic story with, also one of them brought a gun and shot the other one.
Everybody thinks he's a joke. Everybody thinks...
And he is a joke.
Everybody thinks he's just, he's just an entertainment spell. Just for goofing around.
How would they think that? How do they not know he has a gun in his hat?
Because
who put that gun there?
Star.
So why don't they know? Did Star just erase that from their minds or something?
Yes.
Does he never look at his hat?
It's magic. Who knows? That's not even the point.
Why does he have a magic hat that he doesn't know about?
He's just a Spider-Man.
No, he's not Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man.
I wasn't ready for that. That was so bad. But obviously, I don't think we're gonna meet eyes on this.
No,
but
Spider with a top hat is stupid.
If you don't like Spider with a top hat, I think you're literally a monster. You're not a real person. You don't have feelings.
I've got more inspiring stories to be inspired by than Spider with a top hat. one like 10-minute episode of a guy like telling me how much he cares about something. Okay, great, cool, whatever.
Oh, he doesn't just tell you. You feel it.
No,
man.
you don't.
You feel it.
All
in
he does
bones.
is he determines that the solution to his problems is slamming his head against a wall over and over again.
Well, that's not the solution to. He's like, look.
That's his solution.
The episode starts out, and he's there. Obviously, like all these spells come back from battle, and they're all beat up, and they're all a little bit bummed out. And Spider cheers him up. He's like,
yeah, great.
He's like a hero even before he uses his laser top hat already. But
sure, whatever you say.
Like,
If only
to be more. He wants to be the ultimate warrior.
If only this wand wasn't like some kind of horrible prison, they wouldn't need some sort of like dancing jester to keep their spirits up. They could just, I don't know, do anything else.
I mean, it's not really a prison. They have like their own little houses. There's that like
they can't leave unless Star lets them. They only exist for as long as they please Star. Imagine that. Oh. Just being at the mercy. Oh, it's like that one episode of The Twilight Zone where the kid has like powers and like sends people to like a wheat field in Kansas. It's like, we all must love Star so she doesn't let us stop existing. It's horrifying.
Anyway, I absolutely love this episode.
And Spider in the Top Hat has tragically absorbed this victim mentality to its final solution.
I think this episode is fantastic.
Horrible.
I love every second of it. It's pretty great.
Let's move on.
But I guess we need to move on to my actual favorite episode of the show. That other episode, pretty great. But like, this episode I do really like. I really like the other one, but this one for different reasons. We get to Into the Wand.
What happened in this episode again?
In this episode, Star goes into her wand.
I remember the one where she goes into her like own memories.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Why is that in her wand? Isn't that in her brain? Did I just like skip over this part?
Did you skip over the beginning of the episode?
Maybe.
Where Glossaric is like, we have to go into your wand.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then he's like,
that's right.
And then like Star's like, he's like trying to explain it to Star, and like Star's not paying attention. He's like, Star, pay attention.
That must be why I missed it, because I was angry at Star for being stupid. But, oh yeah, so the wand is like made up of her memories.
The wand, he says, the wand is an extension of your memories.
Somehow.
So you must find the thing that doesn't belong. And that's the episode of the show. I really like this episode. She goes into the wand.
This is like a lore wank episode, definitely.
Yeah, I guess so. But, you know, I like the way Glosser just sort of, like, claps his hands and then they're in the wand.
Yeah, that was okay.
And, you know, Star's wandering around. She finds a bunch of stuff. And, like, in this weird version of her school, I guess.
Yeah. That iconic location that we know so well. Yeah, that iconic
location that we know so well. But all along her way, she meets herself. And she's all like, I found you, faker. And then the other one's like,
you're not even good enough to be my
and the other one's, faker. I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough to be my
I'll make you eat those words.
Actually, hold on. I think I'm confusing this with another anime. I think that was Naruto. Anyway,
that was actually Naruto.
Anyway, that happens for sure, though.
When Sasuke
and
eats the magic fruit or something, I'm sure that happens.
But anyway, eventually Star goes to the grandma room.
Yeah,
she calls
the grandma room,
and we see a bunch of the old queens of Muni.
Yeah, so this is the biggest lore wank in the whole show so far.
Pretty much.
So you see, so there's like powerful, magical queens, a dynasty of them.
Yep.
Where some of them are just like straight up evil, I guess, and use like dark magic to like control the world or something.
No, maybe.
And toss the world into ages of darkness. It's kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and some of like the sort of poem descriptions they have for the queens, I thought were really cool. I think the one was like one for like the Solaria lady.
Yeah.
Was just like kneels the void before her in the crushing force she wields. Like kneels the void before her. That's like an epic line. I love that.
Good line.
But yeah, we get to see a bit more of like the interesting part of the show.
Yeah.
That we get to once we get out of this season, basically. With like all the stuff with the magic and the muni.
Yeah, not just farting around a school doing nothing, getting your hands stuck in pipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but
oh yeah, and also I like the bit where like she looks out the window and she sees the castle and the football field and just like, that definitely doesn't belong. Let's go get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I hated about this episode was like the copies of Star that were just like really stupid. Like, so like it's just something they made up basically. Like you're gonna catch up. Like this isn't a time thing.
Well,
like you're not going back in time
but
or something.
it's her old memories become her new memories.
That's
so,
not
like,
how even memories work.
So she remembers coming into the school. So that's also in her memories, and therefore there's another Star coming into the school.
Yeah, I don't think this show really understands how like memories work. Like,
well, I mean,
why would long-term memories be in the same place as memories that just happened?
Anyway,
like this doesn't make any sense.
It also shows something because
also wait, sorry. It also doesn't make any sense because none of the copies of Star actually copy her. They just follow her and don't do the same. Like if it was a copy of her, they'd all do this. So there's this shot where like she's running or she's riding on the pig thing, and then like a star appears behind her and it's like, hi, and a star appears behind her, hi. But if this was really copies of her, the one behind her would be looking at the one behind them, and then they would be looking behind them at the one behind them, and then it would keep going because they'd be doing the same thing. But no, they're just like chasing after Star, hoping to kill her, I guess. Great thing they found Marco's jacket so she could look different from all the copies. Thank goodness. Genius. But I don't know there, guys.
I mean, chances are
Marco's jacket clearly doesn't belong in your memories.
That was pretty dumb. But like, there's this one little moment where like when Star first goes into the school, you see like her future self like go like down the hallway, which implies that version, this version of her isn't the one that that made it out. So apparently the Star we know died at some point and was replaced by another version of herself who escaped.
I mean, like, Glossric is just a huge fool in the first place for like doing this. Like,
I remember, Glossric was like, sorry, by order of Moon the Undaunted, you have to be this tall to go on this ride. It's like, well, I say put me in anyway. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like,
it just does.
It's like, and then I guess he killed Star, sort of.
Yeah, kind of.
In a way. Great work, Glossric.
Yeah, but anyway, after Star goes through her memories...
Oh, yeah, well, it turns out...
Glossric pops out of the tapestry.
Yeah, it turns out her mom fought Ludo.
No.
Whoa.
Mom didn't fight Ludo, you idiot.
Oh, not Ludo, the toffee. I can't tell the difference. They're both like green.
I don't think toffee's even green. But, yeah, pretty much. And we see that the tapestry of her mom fighting Ludo. Not Toffee. Now you got me doing it. Fighting Toffee. And the finger appears.
Great.
Which was Toffee's missing finger. And that's the thing that doesn't belong. And she gets out with it.
Yeah, it just falls out of the tapestry, I guess. Yep. Somehow.
Because it doesn't belong there.
But why was it there?
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
In Star's memories.
In the wand. Well, that's the thing. It wasn't supposed to be in Star's memories.
Oh, wow,
it was the thing that didn't belong.
Oh, yeah, and then she just tosses it. She takes it out of her memories into the physical world.
Well, it was in the wand.
but the wand is her memories.
Yeah. It is.
So this physical object.
Yes.
Is this like his actual finger that somehow got inside of her brain or something?
No, it's in the wand.
But it comes out of the wand into the real world.
Yeah.
So is it real?
Yes.
So is that the finger that got chopped off?
Yeah. What did you think it was?
Her memory of the finger that got chopped off.
No,
just like those stars behind her weren't the real star.
that's the whole thing was like that thing didn't belong in her memories. It wasn't.
But how
supposed,
did it get there?
It wasn't. That's the question. That's the mystery.
Yeah. So
What
instead
was
of
this thing?
instead of figuring out this mystery, she just throws it in the
She just
closet.
throws it in the closet.
And she's like, "Oh well, I don't care about it anymore. Bye."
Yep. And then she has a moment with Glossric.
Yeah, great. Real touching moment.
And that's
with
pretty
Glossric.
much the end of the episode. And I really like this episode. I think it just moves along at just the right pace. It's got just the right amount of interesting stuff in it. It's got some pretty funny jokes. And then it's over, and it doesn't outstay its welcome. I really like this episode. But alright, that was this episode. We got some cool lore. And we're gonna move right along to the next episode, which is we're gonna skip this next episode.
Yeah.
It's the pizza one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Ponyhead gets killed by Marco because she's a horrible person. Ponyhead is like dissected and destroyed and eaten by Marco for being just a horrible person.
To say that nothing happens in this episode would be giving it too much credit.
Yeah. Less than nothing happens. A routine happens.
It was horrible. I don't understand why this episode exists.
Why does this show want me to like Ponyhead? I hate Ponyhead. Why is it doing this? Ponyhead's bad.
She is bad.
She's just like an immoral person. Like she doesn't have any sort of like moral compass.
Yeah,
any sort of like
we make
goodness.
We make fun of Star and Marco for being just bad people.
But they're mostly stupid.
They're mostly kind of incompetent and just do dumb stuff a lot of the time. But Ponyhead is like actively evil.
Yeah, Ponyhead's like a sadist. Like she enjoys seeing Marco suffer.
Yeah.
Which I mean I do too, but
for different reasons.
For different reasons, yeah. I enjoy Marco slamming his head against walls because he's stupid as all hell, so that's pretty funny. But the Ponyhead goes out of her way to like destroy Marco.
And so here's what happens in this. Okay, they go to get pizza.
That's it.
That's it. That's the episode.
Okay, moving on.
Anything that happens in between, entirely irrelevant. Don't watch this episode. Pizza thing is. I didn't even say the name of the episode.
Pizza thing.
Yes.
It's not even a real title. They couldn't even think of a second part of the title.
They didn't even know. We're just gonna move right along.
I hate this episode.
I hate it more. To an episode I like because that's how this show works. We only talk about the episodes I like. Page Turner.
Page Turner, right?
Do you remember this one?
It's the one where there's the book probably in it. Oh yeah, it's that one. Okay, yeah.
It's the one where Glossric is trying to get Star to learn some magic. She's just laying about. And then he's going to show her Queen Eclipse's chapter, the forbidden chapter of the book.
Yeah.
But just as he opens it, he gets sucked into this weird magic dimension.
Yeah, he gets taken to like the magic counselor or whatever.
The magic high commission.
Yeah, high commission.
Yeah.
Which is... I mean, okay, whatever.
Yeah, this is the first time we get introduced to these characters, the High Commission.
Yeah, so the High Commission, so you go to the High Commission place and everything is broken.
Yes.
Even the stairs.
Even the stairs.
So what doesn't make any... Why doesn't Glossric just like... Why does Glossric even go inside? Why doesn't he just fly up in the first place? He can float.
Excellent question.
Yeah, it's because they need an episode. But anyway... Star and Marco learned the secrets of the void or something.
I do like that little part of the episode where like Mark apparently like for the entire time Glossric is like doing this whole dumb thing. Star is trying to convince Marco to turn the page of the book so she doesn't have to.
Yeah. Great. So my problem with this episode is that the whole thing is just like Glossric trying to go up some stairs.
Yeah, from the beginning of the episode, then there's like the whole middle part of the episode, which is sort of just a bunch of jokes in a row.
Yeah.
And then the end of the episode, and then the stuff happens again in the end of the episode.
Sort of. So we see this magical High Commission, which is like Star's mom.
Yeah.
Some other like no names.
Well, they do have names, but we just don't really know them yet.
Yeah. There's like a couple people who you can tell from their character designs that they'll be important later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it's like playing like Spot the protagonist. Like the one with like the flaming red hair is probably important.
Yep.
The one with I don't know. There's probably another one that's important.
There's the crystal guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, some of them are obviously not important.
Let's see if I can remember their names. There's Romulus, the crystal guy.
Yeah, not important.
Omnitraxis, the guy in the bolt and the fish. No, he's like in the globe.
Definitely not important.
He's not important. Lekmet the goat guy. Actually, I don't think we know his name yet. But anyway.
Yeah, definitely also
moving
not
along. Glossaric finally gets fed up and just magics his way to the top floor.
Like he should have just done.
In the first place, because he's Glossaric. He doesn't give a shit.
He saved himself a lot of trouble.
Sometimes he does, apparently. But he goes in and they're all just sort of sitting there, and he's just like, "You guys need to just
just let me do my job.
Just let me do my job,"
and that's it. And then he goes back, and then he's already failed at his job.
Yeah, but basically, they have a little meeting. They discuss that something is sucking the power of magic out of the universe.
Oh no!
Which, who knows what that means?
It means the corn. The corn is magic.
No, that doesn't mean the corn is magic.
Corn. That
good
corn
guess though.
The corn is the source of all magic in the world, and Ludo is stealing all the corn. So they're losing some magic.
That's how it works. Yep.
That seems about right to me.
Anyway, but yeah, and then yes, who was it? Moon wants Glossaric to accelerate Star's training so she can fight whatever's coming. And
Why don't you fight it?
And Glossaric says no. And that's and that's what happens.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to be like strong or something? Why don't you do it?
No, maybe she does. But finally, Glossaric, I keep forgetting his name for some reason because it's a weird name. Glossaric gets back to the real world and finds the Star has already read the full chapter of Darkness, and she doesn't even really care that much. She's like, yeah, whatever, power of darkness, I got you.
Yeah, but then, woohoo, turns out Marco.
Marco has become consumed by the power of darkness.
Which doesn't make any sense, because Marco's not magical.
So yeah, I don't know what the deal that is.
Can he master anything that's in the book?
No.
I mean, are you sure? He mastered this one pretty easily. He absorbed the power of darkness fairly quickly. It only took...
I don't know. Maybe the power of darkness is something different or whatever.
Oh, sure. I'm sure. Very convenient.
But basically, don't worry. We can fix that.
Yeah. Great.
And that was this episode. I like this episode. It was alright. Glossaric's always a fun guy, in my opinion.
I don't know. Glossaric is just really annoying. And also, he's just... None of the plots of any of these episodes work if anybody does anything smart.
I mean,
It's
I agree with you that the entire middle of this part of this episode was just unnecessary fluff.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. The ends were alright.
Well, the beginning was boring too. So
I like the beginning where he's trying to find the perfect chip. You don't think that's funny?
No.
All right.
Let's move on. This episode.
Watch boring. This episode. It was pretty good. Moving right along. Oh, this one. We got the Naysayer. Is that what? Or I don't think it was actually called that. It was like the. Was it called that?
I don't know.
It was some sayer.
This episode was the worst one.
It was a Marco episode.
Yeah.
That's all it needs to be.
So it's an episode called Marco Gets a Horrible Deformity. Marco grows a Siamese twin out of his neck. This is disgusting. This truly reprehensible content right here. How do you show this disgusting thing to children? Yeah, so Marco grows a head out of his neck, which repeats his worst secrets, and then he repeats all of his worst secrets to Jackie. That's the whole episode.
Yeah, that's what happens.
There's a mini.
And apparently Tom did it.
Oh yeah, Tom did it.
Funny. It's oh, sorry, I did that before we were friends.
Yeah, great. And then he can't reverse it because, very conveniently, he can't because who
cares?
Yeah.
Nothing happens. It's not like there's a consequence of this.
So here's the thing. Because if he had done that and just reversed it, this episode wouldn't exist and everyone would be better off.
Yeah, they should have just replaced this episode with
anything.
Something.
They should have just replaced this episode with 10 minutes of white noise and static.
But yeah, what's his name? Marco trying to ask out Jackie, but Tom put a curse on him that makes it so it's embarrassing to do so. And then he does anyway.
Then he does anyway. And he learns the valuability of honesty. Everybody really values your honesty.
I guess. I don't even know what this episode was trying to do.
Exactly. That's what it was trying to go for, but it just completely failed. That's the only moral that it could possibly have.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Jackie already knows that Marco has a crush on her.
Yeah.
So
where's the tension here?
So he just says a whole bunch of embarrassing things.
Yeah.
And that's
we don't judge you for being an embarrassing person, Marco, even though you are a huge embarrassment to everybody and nobody wants to admit they know you.
I did like the part where Marco said he was just going to stay in his room forever.
Yeah, I wish he did do that.
But then he got over that, which was the worst part of the episode.
That was a tragedy.
Do you remember the bit where Star puts her finger under the door and the finger...
Oh, yeah,
and
that
the
was
finger
gross.
has a little face on it?
Yeah, she, grossly bends her finger.
I don't know
she, breaks her own finger.
I, tried to, do that with my finger.
No, you can't. It's impossible. She, breaks her second knuckle or something so she can, point her little face at
So, that was a funny joke. I liked that moment. But other than that, this episode is a huge waste of time.
Yeah. Skip it.
Skip it.
And then move on to the next episode.
Watch that one little scene and then skip the rest of it.
Don't go out of your way.
Do it.
Don't go out of your way.
And finally, the last episode of our miraculous journey through this part 2.
This is over.
Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Oh, the show's not over.
Yeah.
Just this podcast in a minute. Bon Bon the Birthday Clown.
Well, I was very sad that Bon Bon was so the poor clown. He was so tertiary to the episode.
Yeah, the whole intro was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, we get this backstory on this clown, which is the most relatable and cool character in the whole series.
I don't even understand why they did that. They could have just said, we're going to go resurrect a dead clown. You don't have to introduce us to the clown. We don't care.
Yeah, none of this clown's backstory is at all relevant.
Yeah, it's not
the only
it's
thing...
not thematically relevant. It's not, relevant to the story. It doesn't matter.
So, the one thing that you could claim was added by this, giant flashback at the beginning to this clown is that you get the really, really funny joke of... all the candles go out at the seance, and then they all come back on again. Because there was trick candles.
I don't know if that was
Why does this show think trick candles are so funny? They're not that funny. They're just trick candles. I don't get it.
It was weird. They were weirdly obsessed with those trick candles.
Yeah.
I think someone on the writing staff just had a thing for trick candles. And they had their day.
Some storyboarder or writer just really loved trick candles. And thought they were just the funniest thing in the whole world.
And boy, were they.
Yeah. Yeah, they were completely right. I was busting a gut laughing every single time they brought up candles that relight themselves when you blow them out. Hilarious.
But after that whole dumb intro that didn't even need to be there, we get to Star.
The dumb plot that doesn't need to be there.
The Star and Marco are preparing for the dance.
Wow, Star, I'm glad that you agreed to go with me as a friend.
I think that's exactly how he sounded. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.
Hey, guys.
It's me, Marco.
It's me, Marco Diaz. Here to kill everyone. Here to take all of your women.
Oh, Donatello. You never let us down.
Oh, Marco. You're such an ethically bankrupt turtle.
No one's going to understand what
Don't worry, just move on. Alright, so they're going as friends, only as friends, not romantic at all. Don't be ridiculous, just friend zoned here.
But then Jackie does something frankly ridiculous and asks Marco to go to the dance with her.
For some, she has some bizarre notion that she needs to know Marco better for some reason.
Yeah, like I said, they're perfect for each other, really.
Oh yeah, of course.
They both have the one thing that they like, and the rest of them is a blank page.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So maybe they're both thinking, maybe I can have a second page with this person on it, and then that'll be it, and that'll be the end of it. Finally, I really
want someone who isn't complicated.
Yeah.
Who only has one identifiable characteristic. That would really help me out.
Yeah, someone I can relate to. Somebody with only one thing in their whole life. Yeah. That's great.
That would really satisfy me.
Someone who understands me and my single-minded obsession with a completely like a dull hobby that nobody cares about.
Yeah, that's okay. But anyway,
all right, whatever.
But at the same time, Jana wants Star to come with her to go resurrect a dead clown.
Yeah.
Which
is what they should all have been doing.
Yeah, which is way more interesting.
Yeah, come on.
Like, despite the boring intro, if they had just
it would have been much cooler if they had
so much better without the intro. If they had just said, "Hey, Star, let's go do a dead clown."
Yeah, let's go revive a dead clown who died 100 years ago and said he would be back. That's way cooler.
It's way cooler without.
They could have even kept all those stupid and all those dumb trick candle jokes. Would have been way funnier if they hadn't done that thing at the beginning where he's like, "No, wait, guys, these are trick candles. I'm not a witch. Ha ha ha, honk honk." And then it was but so now that they ruined the joke there. But imagine if they hadn't mentioned that at all. There had been no flashback, and then trick candles came on when the seance happened. Oh, that'd have been when Ludo comes. I guess is when it happens.
Then it would have made any sense because why no one
because they're clowns.
I mean, I guess
it would have been funny.
I guess maybe if they had mentioned a line that he died because of an exploding trick candle.
Yeah. Okay. So no, wait. It would have been something like this, right? It would have been all right. So everybody thought that his house was on fire or something, but it's actually just trick. It was actually a trick fire. Something stupid like that. It would have been hilarious.
I think they could have cut out the intro, just mentioned at some point. It's how did Bon Bon die? One of his trick candles exploded.
Yeah, one of his trick he thought it was a regular candle, but it was actually a trick candle, and he caught his house on fire.
Yeah. But yeah, so dead clown seance, and Star's gonna go to that. But then, oh no, Star's all jealous because she clearly has a crush on Marco.
Well, she has a crush.
Her crush on Marco is almost as blatantly obvious as Marco's crush on Jackie. But Whatever.
Luckily, Marco has brain damage, so he'll never notice.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about that. So that. Marco and Jackie go to the dance, I guess.
And then they leave the dance immediately, and then they go skateboarding. It's really romantic.
They have a real emotional moment together, don't you?
And this takes, by the way, forever to happen. By the way, this is a whole half of the episode.
Yeah, it's really long.
And also the other half of the episode is Star whining and crying about not going to the dance with Marco at the graveyard.
Yeah, pretty much.
So 2 halves of the episode that are complete garbage.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer because it's all about Marco and Jackie. They somehow managed to get through a whole conversation without identifying any character traits about the other. It's amazing. It's they don't. I mean, Jackie's oh man, you never give up. You always keep trying. And it's
you always keep trying. Just like a brainless man slamming his face against a wall. just like a spider with a top hat slamming his face against a wall for no reason.
Hey, don't bring that back. We're not going back. I'm never letting you speak his glorious name again.
He doesn't have a name.
Spider with a top hat is his name. Anyway. SWTH.
What?
Anyway.
With top hat.
Oh, yeah. Is top hat 1 or 2 words?
I don't know.
Anyway. Yeah, they just have a boring conversation where Jackie maybe explains why she doesn't think Marco is just a weird loser. Because he's never done anything but be a weird loser.
Yeah.
And apparently they fall in love.
Yeah, they fall deeply in love. You can tell by their eyes.
Yeah, the eyes. But yeah, that's that's that part of the episode. But on the other hand, interesting things are happening at the graveyard now that Star has done moping and Ludo has appeared.
Yeah, finally Ludo comes out so Star can stop whining to Jana about how much she is like, it's so cringe. Just stop it, please.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time. But yeah, Ludo shows up dressed as a clown.
Yeah.
Because
was it ever revealed why Ludo was dressed up as a clown?
Okay,
Does he know about the clown seance? Like, what's going on?
He does know about the clown seance, and here.
But why does he want to dress up as a clown then?
It's a weird detail, because like at the very beginning of the episode, when Marco is like putting up the banner, he falls down from the ladder and like screams like, "I just saw a giant rat in the air vent."
Okay,
so he mentions a giant rat, which is of course Ludo's army of giant rats. So and you see little rats around the episode too, so you kind of see him coming. It's pretty cool.
So here's where the logic leaps a little bit here. So the rats inform Ludo that Star is going to be at this dead clown seance. So Ludo logically comes to the conclusion that I should dress up like a clown. But why? What does that help? Why is he dressed up as a clown?
I think we've established plainly by now that Ludo is completely insane. And this seemed like a great idea,
yeah.
And he went with it, man.
Is he like trying to trick Star into thinking he's the clown?
No.
He's not.
Dressed
That's
up
insanity.
Like a clown. He's a crazy person.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can just have your characters do anything now. They're insane.
Well, he shows up, he starts shooting lasers everywhere.
Yeah. This is his only power. Very interesting and very cool.
This is his only power. But then, let's see what happens. He's about to lose the Star, but then
Star messes it up.
Oh yeah, we almost forgot the whole part where with the spying spell.
Right, yeah. Star spies on Marco and
knocks him off the skateboard.
Knocks him off a skateboard somehow.
Accidentally through magic. Because
she's so bad at magic.
This is extremely important for everyone, including you. But everyone listening to the podcast, remember, it's very clear in this episode that the sort of green evil magic happens when Star is like upset about something, right?
Yeah, like jealous or something.
Yeah.
Green with jealousy, maybe.
I think it's green with envy.
And jealousy and envy are like the same thing. Shut up.
I'm just saying. But
people get green with jealousy too.
But the point is, it's very clearly shown in this episode and a few others before that the sort of evil green magic happens when she's upset about something.
Yeah.
You should definitely remember that.
Guys. Also, if you can't remember that, remember like the 90 other times they mentioned that your magic is connected to your emotions.
They never mentioned that.
They do. They mention that like all the time. Glossric says that like every time he's on screen.
He never says that.
Yeah, he does.
Nope, not once.
Yeah, he does.
You're just wrong.
Well, maybe it's just so not subtle that I just picked it up a million times.
It's not, though. It's not even connected to their emotions.
What do you mean? That's exactly what happened now.
Except for the angry green magic. But anyway.
Oh, so except for when their magic is affected by their emotions, their magic isn't affected by their emotions?
Now you're catching on. Anyway.
So what you're saying is I'm completely right.
Marco and Star, Marco and Jackie show up, and Star like immediately is angry about it, apparently. And this causes her to almost get sucked into a black hole, which allows Ludo to escape with the spell book.
Yeah, great work, Star. You ruined everything.
You messed up.
Yeah, so Star casts like a black hole spell.
Yeah, to send him back into the void.
To send him back into the void, and then like messes it up, I guess.
Yeah, she I don't know what happens.
She could have just done nothing and would have won, but no, she had to like go in and mess stuff up.
Yeah, but she's gonna win, but then the evil magic happens and it like reverses the black hole spell or something, so it's sucking her in.
Great. And then she's out of magic, I guess, so she can't just like cancel the spell.
No, well, she drops her wand.
Yeah, of course she does. But
more importantly, Ludo gets away with the book.
Oh no!
And now Glossric is in the hands of Ludo. And what's gonna happen next? Well, you'll have to tune in next time to find out.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
So, like I said, I really like this collection of episodes. Not really the whole collection of episodes. I just like some of the episodes in it, as usual.
I thought more of them were cringe than weren't.
let's see. Let's go over them real quick. Game of Flags.
Cringe.
I like it. Go ahead and watch Game of Flags because you get some cool stuff with
Skip it.
magic, and I think.
Just watch the scene at the end when you see like giant armed lady.
Giant armed. You mean 6 armed?
Just go.
Girls' Day Out. Jana has
Skip
an
it.
episode. Skip that. No one cares about Jana.
Cringe.
And the show doesn't care about Jana. They just have her there for some reason.
They just have her there to make sure that somebody kind of likes Marco a little bit.
Does she?
Well, didn't she have like all of Marco's like personal information? Isn't it like implied that she's Marco's stalker?
I mean, she has all his personal information, but she has no interest in Marco, as we clearly determined through the sleepover episode.
Yeah.
Which is the next episode. Perfect.
Yeah, it implies it there too.
No, it doesn't imply it.
No, yeah, because she's like, you know who I have a crush on, and then it does it like,
and then she says somebody else.
Yeah, and then she says an 18th century poet.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's a misdirect.
If you say so.
What do you mean if you say so?
Okay, here's the funny thing. Jackie is the one female... Not Jackie. Jana is the one female character in the show who never goes that direction.
Yeah.
Alright, Sleepover. Skip. I mean, people like to think this episode is important, but nothing happens in it. Everyone already knows that Marco has a crush on Jackie, and that's the only thing that's revealed. Except for Star's crush on Marco, which everybody already...
Dude, nobody could have known.
If you've watched the show, you probably have figured that out by now.
Yeah, because it literally told you.
Yeah. Gift of the card, like...
Lame.
Pretend...
Cringe.
This episode is awful. Don't even pretend to watch it. Frenemies.
Cringe.
I like this one. It's not mandatory, I guess, but I think you should watch it because, it's Tom and Marco... They've got the best chemistry of any two characters in this show.
I mean, that's possible.
Which isn't like a high bar.
Yeah,
but, it's something.
It is possible, but I mean, like, the chemistry between, like, they go to chemistry class and they mix to, like, an acid and a base, and there's more chemistry there than anything in this show.
I get it. In is mystery.
Admitted, yeah. The best
Is
episode,
mystery.
easily the best episode of this block.
You gotta love Buff Frog
because it doesn't involve Star or Marco at all.
That's true. I don't think they even make an appearance.
No, the only appearance is that Buff Frog mentions Star at the end.
Yeah, but yeah, Buff Frog.
Fort Guy was lame though. I hated Fort Guy. I don't think he shouldn't have been saved. But I wish Buff Frog was more ruthless.
Hey, maybe he was, but he's a father now.
Yeah, he is a father. I wish he had, this guy had he could have taken the father away from his kids. Like, he threatened that. Like, I mean, he should be given some divine punishment by Buff Frog.
But no, Buff Frog,
he can't do that. He's too nice. I think it'll come back and bite him later that he's too nice. Like, he should have just, like, murdered Ludo.
He's clearly the best character.
Didn't he, like, get Ludo's wand out of his hand at some point?
Yeah,
he should have just snapped his neck.
He punched Ludo in the face and was going to take the wand away from him because, like, I'm sorry to do this, but you're insane.
Yeah, but he just does it very slowly so he can be interrupted.
Well, Spider shoots a web from across the room and, like, snatches it right from under him.
Yeah, the Spider only seems to be able to shoot webs when it's really convenient. It's very annoying.
Anyway, the next is the worst Halloween episode I've ever seen, Hungry Larry. Because it's all about a character no one cares about. I like that Star was dressed as Ludo.
Was Marco dressed up as anything?
He was just a wolf karate guy.
Oh, ew.
And Jana
oh, yeah, that's right. He was a furry.
Yeah.
Gross.
And Jana was a skeleton, maybe. I don't know. Who cares?
I don't know.
Spider with a top hat. The best episode. The best character. Like, you think Buff Frog's the best character?
No,
not as good as Spider
Buff
with
Frog is way better than Spider with a top hat.
Spider with top hats. Okay.
Spider with a top hat accomplishes nothing.
Anyway, it's a joke. Like, Spider with a top hat isn't like a real character in the show, but I do like him.
Yeah,
he's a fun guy.
I don't like his what is it? His victim mentality. I don't like how he just accepts that he is Star's slave. Yeah. And all the other things inside of her want accept that they're slaves. It's against my morals to keep sentient beings in slavery.
I see.
Unlike Star, obviously, who has no morals.
Into the Wand. My actual favorite episode of this little block.
This could be like the second favorite episode, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not as good as Mystery, but it's okay.
I think it's pretty great. And the reason for that is it's simply like if all the episodes were at least as good as that, then it would be a good show.
Yeah, maybe.
But none of them are.
No.
This is Into the Wand is like a competent episode. It just works. Like there's no like really dumb thing in it.
That's true, except for the copies, which I just wish weren't there.
It's just part of the...
Yeah, whatever.
It's not... Anyway, pizza thing, just go die.
Yeah, pizza thing.
Skip that episode. Don't even pretend.
I wish you had told me about it earlier so I could have just skipped it because I wouldn't have missed anything.
I was thinking of like... For a while there I was thinking, maybe I'll just give you a list of episodes that you can skip. But then it was like, well... then it would be just showing... Then I'd only show them like 4 out of every 10 episodes. Pizza thing, don't watch it. Page Turner, we get introduced to the magical High Commission, and it's a fun little Glossric episode. I know you don't like Glossric, but Glossric
it was just too much time Glossric just messing around.
Yeah, true.
Just being a dingus.
But the beginnings and ends were fun, and there was a bit of and there was fluff in the middle.
God. It like shows like Glossric going through like magical TSA, like these TSA jokes, dude. These are so funny and original. A magic detector, dude. It's just like a metal detector. Ha 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 ha. I hate this episode. Never mind. I forgot about that part. I really hate this episode.
This is the third best episode, I guess.
Just kidding. It's the worst episode. Because of the TSA joke.
Naysayer, let's skip this episode.
Oh wait, they also made the joke where they also made the every floor on the elevator joke. Oh yeah, okay, so it's also bad because of that. Like, ha ha ha, you want to go to the top floor, but we're gonna stop on every floor. Okay, move on. What's the next one?
The next one is a Naysayer.
Oh yeah, horrible episode. Skip it. Kill the person who wrote this episode.
All right, and finally, Bon Bon the birthday clown.
Bon Bon the birthday clown. Cut this episode in half.
Yeah, pretty much.
Only watch this other second half of it,
and also not the intro.
Also, that's part of the first half. Just cut off the entire first half. Watch it when Ludo shows up. That's the only important part.
Yeah, this show really bums me out sometimes. Because like if it was just a bad show, I could laugh at it more. But, like, there's some things that I like about it, and I wish it was better. You know what I mean?
I guess.
This makes me feel like it's missed opportunities. But, yeah, that's the lineup.
The lineup for this week.
This is the mid-season finale of Season 2. But it's also going to be, like... We're also going to do the entirety rest of the season in the next episode. So
yeah, that's true. So get your butts ready.
We're
going from Bon Bon to season 2 finale.
Yeah, what is the next episode after this? Oh yeah, Storming the Cat or something. No, it's not. It's something else. Raid the Cave is the next episode, all the way to the season finale, which I think is like, I don't know, Face the Music or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, I just wanted to lay it out this time, so you can watch along, audience. Who hasn't watched the show for some reason.
Yeah.
Or, they just hate the show.
Or they just hate the show as much as I do.
Yep, that's possible. Anyway.
You better watch those new episodes before I find out where you live.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even do the voice right.
I think literally 2 days from now, the finale, the end of Star vs. the Force of Evil.
Oh, yeah.
So,
cool.
That'll be interesting.
Finally dead,
yeah. The show's over, and it's for the best. And I'm going to be... And now, then, obviously, you're not going to watch it. But I'm going to watch it as soon as it comes out. And then, like, I'll have the rest of the show in the context of, wow, that ended poorly.
Yeah, great.
Or maybe it ends really good, but I kind of doubt it. We'll see. I do like the show, by the way, audience. I do like it a little bit.
Even if it sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for listening to the latest episode of the Star vs. the Force of Evil podcast.
Why don't you come up with a catchier name?
Star vs. the Force of Evil, episode 4, part 1, season 2, part 2.
Bye!